Pleasant day to you and welcome to the news on Niger Delta Television. I am George Ameli. Thanks for joining us. The opening highlights. Governor Doyediri calls for the creation of more local government councils in the state. Core members institute projects to curb drug abuse among youths in Bayelsa State. Plus, Bayelsa United resumes preparations for new Nigeria Premier League season. Details of the news. Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Oyediri, has called for the creation of more local government councils in the state, stating that Yenagoa is too big to be just one local government. The governor made the call during the final day of his thank you tour to all local government areas at the Oxbow Lake Pavilion in Swale. The reports. The Senator Doyediri thank you tour of the 8 local government areas of Bayelsa State came to a fitting conclusion midweek, with Yenagoa local government area drawing the curtains. As part of activities marking the final day, Governor Diri inaugurated a cottage hospital in Biseni community.
By the Yenagoa local government council, for the Holy Spirit.
Next up was a stopover at the Traditional Rulers Council.
Yenagoa is not only our state capital. Yenagoa local government is one local government that we believe that is beyond a local government. And that's why I'm happy National Assembly members are here. We should be making more noise about creation of local governments in Bayelsa State.
The final day also had the political top brass of Bayelsa State reaffirming Senator Doyediri's inclusive leadership style with development dotting all the local government areas.
Your name is in all the villages. You have given us hospitals, roads, educational facilities here and there.
You have transformed our landscape, and you are beautifying our land every other month. The people of Yenagoa say thank you.
The women of Epiatisa, Yenagoa local government, we are rolling on the floor. We are saying thank you. You've done so well in every area.
Governor Diri used the medium to solicit for true federalism, where states can accommodate as much local government areas as they can handle, amongst other issues.
I believe that local governments are not federating units. It is an anathema for the federal government to use local governments as parameters for sharing formula, because we cannot have 8 local governments in Bayelsa State and local government monies are shared in some other states to 40-something local governments. I stand to say it is wrong, and that anomaly must be corrected. Local governments must be creations of the states. If we can manage 40 local governments with our resources, allow us to create them. We have prioritized the people. We have prioritized development as the center of this government. And we cannot do so if you, the people, are not working with us.
With landslide victory in the 2023 gubernatorial elections, Senator Doyediri and his deputy, Senator Lawrence Erujapo, had to say thank you, Bayelsans. From Oxbow Lake in Yenagoa, George Ameli reporting for NDTV News. The Bayelsa State Deputy Governor, Senator Lawrence Erujapo, has urged residents of the state not to panic following the flood predictions by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, but rather cooperate with government in taking proactive measures to mitigate the effects of flooding. Senator Erujapo made the call during a meeting with the Ministry of Environment, the State Flood Control Directorate, the Environmental Sanitation Authority, Chairman of Local Government Areas and Rural Development Authorities at his office in Government House, Yenagoa. The Deputy Governor, in a statement issued by his Senior Special Assistant, Mr. Dobara Atasi, assured that there will be less impact flooding in the state because of the steps government is taking to address the menace. Senator Erujokpo equally charged the Flood Control Directorate to extend their operations to areas that are heavily impacted every year, such as Biseni and Tombia in the Nagwa local government area and Obrigbene in Ekerema local government area. And in a related development, residents of Yenagoa have commended the bold and strategic approach by the state government to mitigate the effects of impending flood and safeguard the people. Speaking with NDTV News, they urged other residents to complement government's efforts by desisting from all practices that contribute to flooding. Correspondent Maru Aitengo tells us more.
Following the early warning by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, which listed Bayelsa among states that will be hit by flooding, the state government has commenced practical measures to mitigate the efforts of flooding. Over the past weeks, efforts have been visible as government opens up more drainages to reduce the impact of the natural disaster. Some residents acknowledge and commend the state government's move.
They are even trying because I can see that they are even opening all the canals. All the canals in Azikoro, mostly Azikoro axis, all the canals are being opened, and all the small drainage that is being filled with all these we ourselves, our pure water and everything. At least sanitation they are even making sure that they clear all those ones because we heard that floods coming.
So the flood has become an annual issue for us in Bayelsa. So the government, a few days ago, I went to Ghana. I saw their soldier, whatever message. They have started clearing the field. It's a good move.
Small canal by the left hand side. Nothing that they are plugging and removing the castles and clearing that channel. So I've noticed that even go down to Amasoma, I've seen a few things that government is doing, clearing drainages and channels. So yes, I'll say government is doing a little, but I would want them to do more.
They cautioned that all the residents endeavor to abide by the environmental laws so as not to undermine government's efforts.
Vigilante should take place so that they will stop all those people that throwing those dead people in those swamps, in those areas. I suggest that vigilante should take place to work on those things and stop all those things that are happening in Bayelsa.
Everybody should be opening their waters to clear their villages. Water will flow. If any tree is blocked, water can be as citizens of Bayelsa, we are supposed to clear our drainage system. That idea of pouring refuse into drainage is very, very wrong. It blocks the free flow of water. So if the rain is falling, the channel has nowhere to flow. It definitely is going to come into our houses. So these are the things we have to do to prevent flooding in our homes.
The state government has assured residents not to panic, as it will not relent on its effort to ensure safety of residents. Narrow Atembo, NDTV News.
Moving away from flooding, activities heralding Project 2000 at Community Girls Secondary School, Agudama Epie, came to an end with an exhibition and symposium on drug abuse by officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, marking this year's International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. The one-month-long skill acquisition program with the theme Changing the Narrative was aimed at balancing formal education with skill acquisition in order to change the narrative from the over-dependence on white-collar jobs to the production of skilled entrepreneurs. Correspondent Taripredo Ikidi has the report.
The motivation behind this is just love for my country, Nigeria. And when I came to Bayelsa State, I saw a need to impact into the secondary school students.
That was the initiator of Project 2000, speaking on the motivation behind the project and the hurdles surmounted in bringing it to fruition. Knowing the effects of drugs on young minds and in commemoration of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, the Assistant Commander General of Narcotics, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Bayelsa State Command, Fidel Kokodia, Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties and General Services, Mazi Johnson Onuma, and Vice Principal of Community Girls Secondary School, Mrs. Ugo Priye Virginia, advised the students against drug abuse and also commended the initiative, stating that it will improve positivity and self-growth among students.
Drugs are anything you take into your body and can change body function, can change the function of your body.
Instead of when people will be planning to go to the labor market, you'll be planning to make money and employ more people to join your skills.
It's something every parent should advise their children to go into. I gave my children different skills, and today I'm reaping it.
Excitement filled the air as students showed off exhibits of their acquired skills and appreciated the initiator of the project for blessing their lives.
Project 2000 is really a blessing to me. I want to say a big thank you to our initiator, Ms. Gift. I want to thank you all for making me to be a part of Project 2000.
I really appreciate Project 2000, the initiator, Ms. Gift Shilaka, and my teacher, Ms. Peace. So I'm saying thank you, Project 2000. Project 2000 has been a great thing of joy for me. Project 2000 have taught me how to make different snacks, and now I can be independent.
I'm grateful for Project 2000. They have done so many things in my life.
Just want to thank the project. Thank you so much. Thank everyone and my Kopa Jen who taught me how to do all this. I love you so much.
Project 2000, with the theme Changing the Narrative, is a 1-month personal community development project of core member Ms. Amadi Jane Chimene, which is aimed at balancing formal education with skill acquisition. Tari Prido Ikidi, reporting for NDTV News.
If you're just joining us, you're onto the news on Niger Delta Television. On the headlines, Governor Doye Dewey calls for the creation of more local government councils in Bayelsa State. Core member institute projects to curb drug abuse among youths in Bayelsa State. Still to come in the news, Bayelsa United resumes preparations for new Nigeria Premier League season. Details of this and other stories after the break. Please stay with us.
Welcome to Niger Delta Television News and Current Affairs Department at the Ernest Ikoli Media Complex here in Yanagwa, Bayelsa State.
One of NDTV's traditional objectives is to disseminate information with renewed vigor. We build teamwork for accountability, efficiency, and accuracy.
Our community reports, eyewitness accounts, current affairs discussions are detailed and competitive.
As NDTV reporters, undiluted report is our goal. We gather the news and bring it to you just as it is.
Our cameras are poised to get in the story behind the story in an in-depth news report.
Our new digital equipment are top-notch with clearer visuals and audio. NDTV is repositioned to serve you better.
Join us on the news every day at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and our major bulletin at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25 UHF. NDTV, crystallizing the vision.
Glad to know you're still there. Chairman of the Presidential Committee of Fiscal Policy and Tax Returns, Taiwo Oyedele, said Nigerian households earning 250,000 or less per month are exempted from paying personal income tax under the new tax laws. He stated this on Thursday, a few hours after President Bola Tinubu assented to 4 new tax bills. Oyedele stated that the reforms are aimed at eliminating taxes for the lowest income earners, reducing tax liabilities of those in the middle income bracket, and slightly increasing taxes for high-income earners. The laws, which will take effect from January 2026, were not intended to increase taxes, but to stimulate economic activity in the country and track tax evaders. Oyedele stated that the new laws will will also project businesses and ensure that the government does not tax poverty, adding that the new laws are efficiency-driven, good-focused, and people-centric. He noted that the committee used both national and global data to define poverty in the Nigerian context, settling on a benchmark of 250,000 naira per household per month. Moving on to entertainment news. Today, latest Afro horror thriller Miss Kainin from Nemsia Studios, directed by Jerry Osai, is now streaming on Prime Videos. For this and more entertainment news, let's join Onweke Ezinne.
Miss Kain, the much-anticipated supernatural thriller from Nemsia Studios, is now streaming on Prime Video. The film marks a thrilling leap into the Afro-horror genre, exploring themes of academic pressure, buried secrets, and the terrifying cost of perfection in a Nigerian boarding school. Directed by Jerry Osai and starring Temi Otedola, Chel Dede, Kanaga Jr., and a standout young ensemble cast, the film offers a haunting, emotional, and culturally grounded experience that blends coming-of-age drama with African folklore and supernatural suspense. The film's release marks a milestone for Nemsia Studios, whose credits include Before 30, Breath of Life, and The Fire and the Moth. With Miss Kain, the studio continues its tradition of telling Nigerian stories that resonate locally and globally. Also on entertainment news today, Made Kuti, singer and grandson of the legendary Fela Kuti, has revealed that, unlike his family, he has zero interest in activism, stating that his family has done enough over the past decades. Speaking recently on the show Breakdown, he shared his growing doubtfulness about the cost and impact of fighting for change in a country where his family has historically paid the ultimate price. He explained that the activism and sacrifices of his family members, including his great-grandmother Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, grandfather Fela Kuti, his dad Femi Kuti, and his uncle Sheun Kuti, have not yielded the expected results. The Afrobeats musician added that his family has done enough for Nigeria, claiming that change can only happen through collective efforts and not individual struggle. Further on entertainment news, Grammy-winning singer Tyla has confirmed that she has recorded a song with Nigerian megastar Wizkid. She made the revelation in an X interaction with a fan who asked her if the lyrics of the song featured Wizkid. Confirming the guest verse of the Afrobeats hitmaker, Tyla shared that the song was recorded in 2022. The collaboration is the first between the Grammy winners, who are among the stars leading the global exportation of African music. Tyla is yet to reveal the release date for the song, which will be her second single of this year, following the release of her single, Bliss, in May. I am Onwekwe Ezinne, NDTV Entertainment News.
Thank you, Ezinne. From our international news desk, Kenya Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen has said the recent protest by the people was a coup attempt and an act of terrorism. For details of this report and other foreign stories, here is Naro Atendo.
The Kenya Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen denying the police used excessive force during Wednesday's protest, in which at least 10 people were killed, describing them as terrorism disguised as dissent and an unconstitutional attempt to change the government. Murkomen thanked security agencies for their remarkable restraint amid extreme provocation, crediting them with helping to foil an attempted coup. In addition to the 10 deaths, more than 400 others were injured, including about 300 police officers. He added that the government installations and offices were targeted in the protests, with 9 police stations attacked. Murkomen said that investigations were underway into the exact number of casualties and the circumstances around the violence. On Wednesday, thousands took to the street across the country, voiced anger with President William Ruto's government, and demand an end to police brutality. The government banned live TV and radio coverage of the protest, although its decree was overturned by the Nairobi High Court. Iran carries out wave of arrests and execution in wake of Israel conflict. The Iranian authorities have carried out a wave of arrests of people suspected of links to Israeli intelligence agencies in the wake of the recent war between the two countries. Authorities suspected information fed to Israel played a part in a series of high-profile assassinations during the conflict, including the targeted killings of senior commanders from the elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and nuclear scientists, which Iran attributes to operative of Israel Mossad intelligence agency working inside the country. Shaken by the scale and precision of these killings, authorities have been targeting anyone suspected of working with foreign intelligence, saying it is for the sake of national security. Officials have since announced the arrest of hundreds of suspects across the country. An accusation of espionage. State television has aired alleged confession from several detainees, purportedly admitting to collaboration with Israeli intelligence. Human rights groups and activists have expressed fear over the latest developments, citing Iran's long-standing practice of extracting false confessions and conducting unfair trials. These are concerns that more executions may follow. We are terrified. Trump's migrant crackdown has workers and firms worried. Trump said he is targeting people living in the U.S. illegally, who accounts for an estimated 4% of the U.S. workforce. His pledge to conduct mass deportation was a centerpiece of his campaign, an issue on which he drew widespread support, including many Hispanic voters. But White House efforts have been much broader in scope, taking aim at people in the U.S. on student visas, suspending admissions of refugees, and revoking temporary work permits and other protections that had been granted to immigrants by previous presidents. Naro Atembo, NDTV News.
And from the ever-busy world of sports, a squad reorganization is ongoing as Bayelsa United resume preparations for the 2025-2026 Nigeria Premier Football League season. Ayemi Mene brings us up to speed on this report and more sports stories.
Bayelsa United is expected to reorganize its squad as it prepares for the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League season. During a media briefing on Wednesday, Tyler Okorowanta confirmed the start date and disclosed that the Prosperity Boys technical staff will start player assessment as soon as they return from the off-season break. The team is currently on break and will reconvene on June 28 to begin preparations for the 2025-26 season, Okorowanta stated. It is when the team regroups that the technical crew will determine those to be retained and those to be recruited based on the team's requirements. Ahead of a more competitive 2025-26 season, Bayelsa United, who finished 11th in the recently finished NPFL season and lost in the round of 16 of the President Federation Cup, is anticipated to make major roster changes. The team from Yenagoa will be looking for a more reliable season in order to improve their chances of a better league finish and to increase their chances of winning a cup. Ayemi Mene for NDTV Sports.
Ayemi Mene's sports reports conclude the bulletin. But just before we go, Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doye Diri, has called for the creation of more local government councils in the state, stating that Yenagoa is too big to be just one local government. We also brought to you a report that activities heralding Project 2000 at Community Girls Secondary School Agudama came to an end with an exhibition and symposium on drug abuse by officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, marking this year's International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. And finally in the news, a squad reorganization is ongoing as Bayelsa United resumes preparations for the 2025-2026 Nigeria Premier Football League season. That's the news. Bye-bye.